Ready? All right, it is 6 o'clock on Monday, April 22nd, 2024. We'll call our meeting to order and start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have the roll call.
Simonson,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Collister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger. Yes. Bennett. Yes.
Item 4 is approval of today's agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Collister, seconded by Coleman. We have no discussion. Take the roll.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Collister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger. Yes. Bennett. Yes. Simonson.
Yes.
All right, item 5 is public participation. Anybody in the audience want to address the council? Anybody on Zoom? If not, we'll move on to item 6, presentations, which there is none. No public hearing for item 7. No old business. Takes us to number 9, new business. And new business is a resolution amending the Traffic Safety Action Plan. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Thank you for joining us tonight for off-schedule meeting. And let me back into this a little bit because what you were provided in public documents was one traffic safety action plan amendment proposal, but one was highlighted with every single change or difference, and then there was a clean version. And objectively, I called this meeting tonight because if we're going to pass an amendment to the plan, it has to be done by April 30th. And unlike last year in this particular grant program we were after, where the submissions were due in July, they're due in May this time. So there's some actions that need to happen to put us in the right position. We have been working with the consultants and WHKS, our engineering firm, to put together good estimates and a good review of our plan that we did pass last year. And you know as well as anyone how important the Briggs move is to West Corey Street, to adding 40 or 50 more parent car pickups at one time, and where are they sending buses, and how are kids getting to school, and those are variables we did not have last year when we passed the original plan. And so considering that and thinking about pairing together a lot of our roadway maintenance needs that are our 10-year street improvement plan, as well as getting kids to school safely and having a good parent experience to allow kids and families to transport themselves from schools or parks and utilize Platt Street and a lot of our community assets. A lot of amendments are brought to you here tonight to try to capture that so that it can be written into a grant proposal. Separate from that, the Traffic Safety Action Plan Task Force and the Public Safety Committee has met twice since tonight over the last year. There's much that has been accomplished the last year since we passed the plan. Main and Summit intersection getting its grant approval. We're well underway with that. Speed radar signs. Frank and the crew are painting twice a year. We'll be looking to do that in May here shortly. A couple of the items on the Traffic Safety Action Plan, East Maple, North Walnut, are under bidding this summer. So we're accomplishing a lot of the objectives without help. Tonight's all about trying to explain to you why we want an amendment, and I can maybe put that to a map on the overhead projector if you wish for just a minute to explain what we're after. And if this is successful, and this is one thing to have a traffic safety action plan, but we are objectively trying to reach for an 80% federal funded grant. Platt Street, for reference, was a $3.6 million federal grant on a $15 or $16 million project overall. This grant's 80% federal funded. It's a different ballpark. It's our hope that we do get it. The one we submitted last year was quite expansive. I did go through a feedback session in January, and I'd come to find out nationwide out of 242 applicants, we were in the highly recommended category. And to them, it just seemed like we were pushing too hard on the mill and fill front. It seemed too much like a roadway maintenance grant. So we tried dialing this back to what is an actual safety concern, and I've described to you the Briggs problem, and that's why this amendment is before you tonight. So if you have any questions on that or what's in the plan or have questions for the Public Safety Committee of what we talked about up to this point, I or Councilman Simonson or Councilman Kuhlman or Councilman Rickle will be happy to answer any questions.
Well, good.
Mayor, do you mind if I show the map on the overhead for a minute?
Please do.
As soon as I remember how to use Zoom. There we go. Oh boy. There we go. Need one of those red dot things to help this out, but this is zoomed in fairly well. So we're trying to build an application that incorporates all of Locust Street, west to east blocks, as a total street reconstruction with expanded sidewalk. I was telling the Public Safety Committee at our last meeting last week, happened to be at my home, and a person on a motorized cart was in the street, not using the sidewalk. And I mean, if you want to take an image of the problem, that's it. You know, sidewalks are bad, ADA ramps are bad, the road's bad. And trying to transport our corridors to the middle school, where kids are frequently traveling at afternoon, in the morning, that's what the point of that is to try to create a safe infrastructure there. Thinking about Briggs and its location, our consultants are advocating for a Second Street connector as well as a Second Street reconstruction from Maple to Platt Street. That's in your street roadway plan as a total reconstruction. It's the first item. We haven't touched it because it's really, really expensive to break up a street completely new. And then if you're putting yourself in the mind of a parent or a school child, connecting our south corridor to Briggs, we're looking to have them utilize Niagara Street and then do street work at Niagara, as well as all of West Quarry, connecting to the Briggs corridor. And what you see on Apple Street is not a street improvement, but trying to utilize ADA improvements and sidewalk improvements there so that the Apple Street connector connects Briggs, Little Bear Park, First Ward Park, Burlingame. If you think about it, it connects all those things, which is why we feel it's an important connector. So if we were ever successful in an application, we would talk further about trying to find the local financing in that 20% at some point in the future, which we could have a broader discussion for how to do that. You do have the capacity to do it. So I just wanted to show you kind of a map of what the direction this is heading. Do any of you have questions on this?
Good.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister, a second by Kuhlman to accept this recommendation. Do we have any discussion? Take the roll.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger. Yes. Bennett. Yes. Simonson,
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Okay. That resolution passes. We move on to item 10, reports and communications. Anything from the city manager?
No, sir.
Anything from any of the council members? Okay, if not, I'd take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Rickrell, seconded by Bennett. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We're adjourned.